Frank Gonzalez. I'm one of the AEs here at CAD-CAM Consulting. Thank you guys all for taking time out of your day and coming to see us. So what I'm going to be covering today is two new features or enhancements, and this is done in turning and mill turn both, so it'll work for both. One of them being the graphical planes display and Lathe Drill, and again, it also works in mill turn. And then the other one would be importing a Lathe GTC tool, which for me was my favorite. It's pretty, I don't know how many of you have created any 3D tools in Lathe. It could become a bit of a problem with chaotic, so this simplifies this. So how this works is I'm importing Lathe GTC data. So first of all, what is GTC? It's a generic tool catalog. These are like packages zipped up with all the tool data information. So it is a digital format that helps standardize how cutting tool data is shared between different vendors and applications. So this, just streams like the workflow of designing a 3D tool. It just effortlessly integrates the Lathe tool data, and this works along the side of the ISO, 13399 standard that there is. And again, the next thing I'll be showing would be, actually, there's one missing here. The other thing would be the graphical planes display. So for Lathe, this was implemented into the milling, drilling, and some other tool paths in 2025. So now seeing it in 2026 in Lathe, it's pretty cool. I like the colors. I like seeing, and you're able to integrate or click from one point to another, and it just moves together. Was a few things that are missing here, side. I don't know why they're down here, but I did want to show this. So where can you download a GTC file? Like the file that I'm using, I downloaded it from Sandvik. I know there's a few other websites like Tools United, Can of Metal. This is the specific tool I'll be showing. And also, it doesn't show it for whatever reason. It's not showing a diagram. I think it's like that. But anyways, you can see here, when you scroll down, once you select your tool, you have the option to download a DXF or step file. Again, you'll have the option, or you'll see this option on the vendor's website for the GTC package. Okay. Just exit out of this. And now to show you how that works, let me open up a file here. Okay, so I'm in Lathe. Again, this would work when being in Lathe or mill turn. So to import a tool, the way it works is you'll come into your Lathe tool manager here. You're going to right-hand click in this white field up in the top. You're going to scroll down to the bottom where it says Import Export Tools, and then Import Tool Data From, and now you'll see this option for the GTC, Generic Tool Catalog. So we're going to click on this. This will open up a window, which now I'm going to be opening and going into the files that I downloaded. So I downloaded a couple. One, let me see. Okay, let me give it one more try, see if that works. So import, export, import tool data, generate tool. And then if I click on open and I select this, stinking, there we go. Okay, so this window will open up. I think there was something that got extracted and I couldn't zip it back up. So anyways, you can see here, there's a whole assembly. There's an insert, there's a holder and an adapter. And you could select, I don't know what this, okay. You can select each one of these individually, or you could do the whole assembly. And if you hover over here on the right-hand side, you'll see it'll show you an image of the components. The one okay. So now to do the whole process, I was going to use this tool. You go ahead and select it. The next thing would be you validate it. So validating is just Mastercam doing the work in the background of like what you would normally do by selecting your holder, your insert, defining the quadrant where it's going to be cutting, etc. And then you'll see a green check mark here. That means it's ready to go. So once it's ready to go, you have the option here to save, and you could either save it to your existing part file, which is where we're at, or you could save it to a library. So I'm going to select part file, and you'll see it updates up in the back. I was playing around with this, and you'll notice that the image that it's showing, it's because I have something in the background. So if I was starting with a new file and there's nothing back there, all you would see is the actual tool itself. But now if I come in here and I double click, you'll see the tools properly defined, and you might have to go in there and change certain things, but all the tool data that came from the website is all integrated in here. So again, something takes the fun out of like design, like picking your holder, insert, everything. It just does it in a few clicks. So. Any questions on that?
So you have to have it unzipped?
Yeah, it has to be unzipped. And normally, I'm sorry, zipped. It'll come zipped. Yeah, it has to be zipped. So exactly how you extract it from the tool vendor's website, that's how you take it in. Awesome. Okay, so now the next thing will be the graphical planes, right? In Lathe. Let me activate this. So now in turning, when you're doing a drill operation, we'll select our tool, and once you're in the parameters, you'll see this plane display option. You could turn this on and off. So if you don't like it for whatever reason, you don't have to be using it. You could turn it on, turn it off, and you could select what you want to see. So in this case, if I want to see my depth graphical plane here, I could just simply grab it and drag it to my final depth. I could activate my clearance, my retract, and just move those along wherever need be. Sorry. And go back in here, and you'll see that this also works by turn them back on. You could turn on and off the labels here. So if you type in a value, it's also associated to it. So again, something simple, but it makes a difference, at least for you to go in there and being able to I just want to go to this depth and not there. So anyways, in a nutshell, that's pretty much it. Those a couple of enhancements. I don't know if you guys have any questions or. Good. Awesome.